What up, Drew's Lies? It's me, Keisha, aka Color Me Pynk, and I'm here with this week's All Tea, All Shade, Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 15, Episode 16 review. Tonight was the season finale episode, and I'm honestly glad that this season is a wrap because, yeah, that's how I feel about it. So we pick up with the producers asking Drew what she and Ralph have been hiding while filming that entire season. That was in March of this year. We then rewind back to January when they were about to wrap filming. So we see Marlo join Sanya to hear her baby's heartbeat because Ross couldn't make it. And she was 5 weeks and 6 days at that point. Little did she know that, unfortunately, literally a few weeks later, she would miscarry, which is so unfortunate and sad. After that, we see Drew and Ralph, and we find out that he's not sleeping in the room with her and says that he don't even know when he'll start back. They are sitting in the bedroom trying to have a conversation, and it's super awkward because you can tell that it's very much forced, and they're trying to pretend like everything is okay, and it's obvious that it's not. So Drew shows him the video of Courtney calling her a bee, and he basically was like, okay. So Drew was like, you just met her. Like, this is how she is behind our back. And Ralph says, behind our back? What has she said offensive to me? And I was like, oh, baby, let's throw the gloves on and box it out, because what you say and what you mean, like, I'm your wife. You just met this broad that's claimed to be your cousin or whatever the heck y'all are. Y'all probably some kissing cousins at this point. Y'all, what if they get together? What if Courtney and Ralph get together and we find out they ain't even really cousins? Now, that would be the gag of the century for next season. So Drew was like, let's just not talk about this anymore. So she gets mad and storms out the room and go downstairs. And her sister and her assistant is in the kitchen. Ralph follows her downstairs, and he was like, so Kenya, Marlo, and Kandi can call you a bee. What you want me to do? Attack them? And it's like, this is different because this so-called person y'all just found out is your so-called cousin, this, that, and the third. Like, that's not cool. Let's just say, and keep it a buck, y'all don't mess with each other like that, and so you don't care. That's what it is. That's what the whole issue is. And instead of them just keeping it a buck and letting us know that y'all not rocking with each other like that no more, that y'all having really bad problems, y'all still trying to pretend like y'all in this, I don't even know what y'all trying to pretend, because you already said he ain't sleeping in the bed with you. But he's saying on camera that the reason why he ain't sleeping in bed with her, because when she come home at night, she too loud, and then he stay up for 2 hours afterwards and can't fall back to sleep. When we all know the reason why he ain't sleeping in the bed with her is because y'all having marital problems that ain't got nothing to do with her job. So get out of here. So when she gets downstairs, Allison asks Drew, is she okay? And Drew brings up the Courtney situation. And Allison was like, yeah, she looked me dead in my face and said that she did not call her a bee and that she don't even use the B word. And Ralph was like, well, Allison, you've called Drew a bitch before too. And I'm like, well, what one got to do with the other? Like, huh? That don't mean that it's okay for Courtney to still say that, nor was it okay if when Allison said that or whatever the case may be. And Allison got him together real quick. And she was like, if she called her a banana, she don't like it. How about that? So if it's something that bothers her, that's all you start with. Like, how you trying to bring me into the equation? And Ralph was like, Allison, I got this. No, you don't got this, because you just brought my name into the situation. So don't try to dismiss me when you brought me into it. The hell? So Drew asks to be unmiked and asks, why would he embarrass her like that when he knows how tired she is, because she said she only got 1 hour of sleep that night. And Allison was like, what is wrong with you? Why would you do that when you see she's crying? And he just standing there looking stuck on stupid, like the rockhead almond head shaped behind. I cannot stand him. Like, literally cannot stand him with his Alvin and the Chipmunk looking self. And the whole situation is just ridiculous. Like, their whole marriage just is a one big question mark. Like, I haven't understood them since her first season on this show. Their marriage is very performative. You don't know what's real, what's fake. Are they faking? Are they acting? Is this real? Like, I don't understand anything about Drew and Ralph. Like, they're both psychotic to me. So Kenya's father is in town, and she tells him that she's been talking to Brooklyn about having another baby. And he was like, girl, what? He was like, y'all almost died having the last one. What did you thinking? So she says, no, I'll go to surrogate round. He was like, okay, so he can get on board with that. She says that legally Mark doesn't have a right to the embryos, but she's still going to talk to him about it. But she don't know how that conversation is going to go because she don't know if he'll later try to sue. And I'm like, girl, just start all over. Go do what Judy and the brat did. Just go to a sperm bank and do it that way, and the baby still have your genes. But I wouldn't even involve that man in anything, especially when he's still trying to take you through court and y'all still battling it out. Like, girl, ain't nobody got time for all that. Girl, no. So Drew and Ralph go to see Dr. Ken, and he says that moving out of their bedroom is liberating. Baby, when he said that, I would have said, and scene. I would have took that mic off so fast and said, thank you, Dr. Ken, but you ain't got to worry about me. It's liberating for you to sleep in another room. Oh, okay. Let me go file for divorce today. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. So then he says that she likes being in a room alone too, because she has the heat on high and he like to have it down on like 67. And Dr. Ken and her looking like, what does this have to do with anything? So he says that even her best friend sleeps in separate rooms from her husband, and Drew was like, and they're getting a divorce. And this fool gonna say, well, who hasn't filed for divorce? That's why I'm like, this cannot be real. Like, this cannot be real. Like, what? Like, nobody could be this arrogant, selfish, bewildering. Like, they both say some of the most outlandish, ridiculous stuff I've ever heard of in my life. Like, who says that? Who hasn't filed for divorce? What? I can't. So they show the girls getting ready for the past trailer premiere and Drew's performance at the event. Now, mind you, as they show the ladies getting dressed, they show a clip of Kenya actually getting dressed for her event that they only showed 5 seconds of, which was the soft opening of the Kenya Moore hair spa, which I thought was really trifling because a lot of stuff could have been edited out this season. We would have loved to see the Kenya go through the process of getting her hair spa up and running instead of seeing a lot of these Marlo scenes. Like, the scene with Marlo and Scott Lee tonight could have been cut out. That was neither here nor there. We did not need to see that scene. That scene could have been geared towards that, like something more important. They didn't even show Brooklyn's birthday party where all the kids were there. Like, but whatever. Marlo must be blowing somebody in production, child, allegedly. So, like I said, Kandi is letting Drew perform, and once again, knowing that she not only added you in her movie, then allowed you to perform at the event, and for you to then try to make Kandi out to be a liar and this, that, and the third, and turning up on her at the reunion, just really makes me not like Drew even more than I already did not like her on this show. So, Drew is ready, and she sees Ty Young, the basketball player, and she was like, oh my God, you came. And she give her a quick hug, and you could tell by the hug, oh, y'all smashing, because she tried her hardest to make her face seem neutral and like it wasn't nothing, but you can tell it's something going on between them two, child, girl. And I'm like, girl, we'll root for you to be taking Ty down. Ty look better than who you're married to, okay? Baby, I don't even swing that way, but shorty swing my way. For Ty, yes, ma'am. Yeah, I get it. So Courtney tries to hug Allison, and Allison was like, I ain't playing that fake crap. So they go over to the side to have a one-on-one conversation, and Allison confronts her about calling Drew the B word. Drew joins their conversation, and Courtney admits that she did, in fact, reference Drew as a B. And I was like, well, why did you sit up here and lie at the function saying you never said it? You don't even say the word, this, that, and the third. And I'm like, Courtney, you and this Bobby Brown mouth of yours, girl, get somewhere and sit down. I cannot stand her. So Sheree arrives with these fat ass bangs in her head. And I'm like, where you going, Snuffleupagus? Please wrap it up. So they show the audience the trailer. They show us the trailer, and we know the reason why they're doing all of this is because, they have a Bethany clause with the Housewives contract where if you promote your business on the show, Bravo gets a piece of it. So it made a smart business decision that Kandi and Todd would then have the movie streaming on Peacock because the network already gonna get a little percentage. And on top of that, it's great promotion for the film, and you can't pay for a better promotion. Nothing came out of their pocket physically at the moment. That's great publicity reaching millions of people. And by the way, my film Paper Heart is also on Peacock. If you would like to check it out, it is phenomenal. It stars Don from Black Ink Crew Chicago as my leading man. Okay, make sure you watch it. Paper Heart on Peacock. Anywho, they start wrapping up the season, and they show us a 5-second clip of Kenya's soft opening. And then we see that filming wrapped January 28th, and cameras were picked back up March 1st when Drew filed for divorce. We then see Marlo call Sheree and say that the streets been saying that she been dating Ty. And a week before filing, we learned that Drew was at Ralph's birthday party with Ty, allegedly. Okay. Monyetta in her confessional was like, we were on set and Drew says, if me and my husband don't work out, I'm going to go talk to my crush. And she said, we were laughing and giggling. And I said, who was your crush? And she said, Ty. We also learned March 3rd that, Sanya is recovering from her miscarriage. She was by herself in New York when it fully happened because she already had learned from Dr. Jackie that the baby wasn't growing anymore. So the plan was to have the DNC when she returned from New York, but she didn't make it. She ended up miscarrying in New York while she was there on business. She was by herself. She ended up losing so much blood that she needed a blood transfusion. And it was really horrific for her. And then she had to tell her son Deuce, who was so excited about the baby and wishing that it was a little girl. And she just broke down crying, talking to her mom about it. And it was really, truly, honestly sad. But good things still were around the corner because now she is pregnant again. And this baby seems to be alive, healthy, and well. Thank you, Jesus. But I just still don't see it for Sanya, and I don't think that she'll be asked back next season because, she really don't bring nothing to the show, to be honest. So her family has moved out. They're 10 minutes away, which is good for her. So then we see Drew is back in the studio preparing for her confessional. Kenya and Sheree give her advice and encouragement because they both, have gone through through a divorce and in the public eye. And Drew is talking to Sheree and says that, her dad has stopped speaking because, her father has been going through a major illness. And Sheree was like, I get it. I understand because I went through the same things with my father, and my father just passed away 2 days before. And I was like, oh my goodness gracious. And so Sheree breaks down and cries, and Drew gives her a big hug and everything. And Sheree leaves. And that was really, truly sad. And so After that, we see Drew sit down in her confessional, and immediately she begins to cry. And I feel bad because you just don't know what Drew was like, what's real and what's fake. Like, are these tears even real, or are you faking? Like, are you being an actress right now? Like, you just don't know with her. So, March 4th, Ralph does his confessional. She says that she allowed him to cheat in their marriage. It was a lot of stuff that she put up with. Ralph ends up having to call his lawyer and ask his lawyer, can he talk about what led up to the divorce? And his lawyer says, no, he cannot discuss that. The producer asks Ralph, did he ever go back and join her in their bedroom? He says, yeah, right after the movie. She says no. So it's just like, you see what I'm saying? Like, you don't know what's genuine and real about this whole situation because, like, somebody lying, or both of y'all lying, or both of y'all doing this for a story. Like, I just don't understand nothing that's going on in this situation. So Drew breaks down and starts crying again. And after she gets herself together, she picks up her phone and sees that she has 27 messages. Lo and behold, that night as she was filming her confessional at 8 p.m., Mimi Foss from Love and Hip Hop Atlanta had went on social media and alleged that Drew and Ty had an affair. I did a whole video on it. The producer was like, to Ralph, do Drew and Ty have a relationship? And Ralph was like, they have a friendship. That's all I can say. Courtney, however, in her confessional, because, they pulled her in and asked her a couple of questions, they asked her about it. And she said, well, rumors have been going around that Drew liked women. So she said, I asked Ralph, and he said she has fun with girls, and he's aware of it. I mean, anybody with 2 eyes and a brain can see that Drew likes fish. And that's okay, girl. You can like all the fish you want. You can like a good crab boil. You can like crab legs. You can like soft shell crabs. You can like Dungeness crab. You can like king crab. You can like some shrimp. You can like some langoustines. You can like some tilapia. You can like some sea bass. You can like a good bronzino. A good cod. Like, girl, it's all right. You like clams. You like, what's another one? Scallops. It's all right, Drew. Just live in your truth and who you are. I really think that she's trying to hide that part of her because of her religious background and because of her mother. That's what it gotta be. That's what it has to be at this point. Where was I at? Drew asks her makeup artist, is the story everywhere? And he was like, yeah. He was like, don't freak out. She was like, yeah, I'm freaking out. And so Drew then looks at the camera, was like, that is such a low reach, talking about Mimi accusing them of, having an affair. So the producers say, what do you know about Drew and her girlfriend, to Courtney? Courtney says, I know she visits her in Texas, and I know that Ralph has a discovery. And so the producer's like, what is a discovery? And Courtney was like, when you're going through a divorce, you have to provide evidence, and that's called a discovery. And I know that Ralph is pretty confident about the discovery he has. So Courtney thinks that the cameras are down. Not realizing, dumb butt, yeah, they might have put the camera down, but you still mic'd up, you dingbat. But they've been feeding her liquor, so she ain't really thinking. So she says, I have pictures of them in my phone. But I wasn't going to say that on camera. Y'all shouldn't leave me and her with vodka that long. Now we see why she was pushing so hard for that adoption. Because she was like, adopt this child so I can go be in my lesbian relationship and you pay all the bills. Baby, I can't wait for that to be brought up at the reunion. Child, remember I said Courtney wasn't coming back? I might be wrong. Courtney came through in the clutch on the season finale with that hot mic and giving the tea. And it's obvious that she's siding with Ralph and she's listening to everything that Ralph is saying, and she's seen footage and videos or whatever of Drew and Ty, and she's vindictive enough to spill the tea. So they might go ahead and bring her back because that's a built-in beef between her and Drew. But what I will say was, Courtney was absolutely 100% deadbeat wrong, whether you was on a hot mic or not, for bringing up that girl's son. 100%, 1,000, 1,000,000% in the wrong. You don't bring up nobody kids. You do not do that. And especially in this case where you're dealing with a special needs child and saying that was why she was pushing for an adoption. Like, the two don't even make sense. She was pushing for an adoption for her son. So what if they get a divorce? He would still have to be, legally responsible for him financially. Like, he still has a father. It was never said that the man didn't pay for child support or nothing like that. I think that the man just wasn't present in his life. But that was just flat out wrong. And I hope Drew drag you to hell for that one at the reunion with your slack jaw self. So Drew tells the producer she believes that Ralph was the one that leaked the information to the press. And I was like, well, what you mean? Because Mimi was the one that put it out there. So what you think, Ralph and Mimi got together and he gave her information, a tea? Like, and she says that, he started drumming up all these accusations in his head and all of this stuff. And I'm like, Drew, the excuses and the lies that you and this man come up with, like, once again, you don't know what's real and what's fake. This could all be a storyline for them. I don't believe nothing that comes out of neither of their mouths. I would not be surprised if they have a big old, we going to therapy next season, we're gonna work on my marriage, we're gonna fight through it, and they end up getting back together. Everything about them just have seemed fake to me. In my opinion, has never changed of them. The season finale was the best thing out of this season, outside of the season premiere episode, which was good. The episode when Kandi went off on Marlo and was about ready to fight Marlo was another great episode. But other than that, this season was cool. It was cool, but it wasn't Atlanta. They need to listen to us, shake up this cast, bring some of the OGs back, and give us the dream team that we've been begging for. Please and thank you. Overall, I'm going to give season 15 of Atlanta, I'm going to give it a C+. A C+. It wasn't horrible and it wasn't great. C+. Can't wait to see what the reunion is going to bring. The reunion looks like it's going to be better than the whole entire season. Can't wait to get into it next week. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the season. What did you think about the season finale? Let's talk about it all. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, hit that notification bell button. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye.